I've lived in New York a little over 10 years now. And it's been incredible, but a lot. It has. It truly, like when I first moved here, I didn't have an apartment ready. I used my job to transfer to move here, but then I needed a place to stay. And I found an apartment with some friends, but the lease wasn't gonna start until long after I got here, so I had to sublet. And so I had to figure out a sublet in Chicago before I ever got here, which means I had to schedule and pay for a sublet on faith. I didn't get to look ahead of time, I just saw pictures. Pictures of wherever that was. Because I get into town. This is like, I get to New York, I got like 2 suitcases and my backpack, everything I got in it, stuffed in it. And then I get to the sublet and I walk in, you know, some of the people I'm gonna be staying with let me in, give me a key, because we're all subletting. Turns out everybody in here doesn't live here. We're just an entire apartment full of subletters. And then they showed me to my room and I walk through the kitchen and I get ready to walk to the next room and the guy showing me around is like, stop, that's my room. What? This is your room. And I was like, oh, that's interesting, because this is the hallway. And he was like, no, it's not a hallway. No, this a railroad apartment. And I was like, sir, I'm from Louisiana. I'm from Louisiana. We have railroad houses. I understand the setup. And this is not a railroad apartment because it has quite a lot of corners. A lot of twists and turns to get to other rooms. This is not a railway apartment. This is a hallway. And then he's like, yeah, but I mean, this is the setup. Like, I'm already in this room, and then the other guys in the other room, and the other guys in the other room. So that really it's you. Now I didn't know what to do. I had already paid the money. And I didn't have, because the person I paid the money to wasn't there. So then I'm like, it's either stay here or come up with a little bit of money to get like a hotel room or something. It just didn't make sense. So I was like, okay, I guess I live in the hallway. And so I set my stuff down and they were like, oh yeah, I know that there was a bed in the picture. And in my head, I was like, how do you know there was a bed in the picture? I thought you were also subletting. It's like, I know there's a bed in the picture, but you know, you could do what I did when I first moved to New York. You could go ahead, go to Target or something, get one of those air mattresses and just keep returning it before the warranty is up. And immediately I took a step back. I was like, sir, you scam air mattresses? I don't feel safe here at all. He's like, yeah, and if you returned it every 2 weeks, you can keep it brand new. I was like, oh, all right, I'll look into that. And the first night, when I moved to New York, I got here in like the afternoon, was immediately devastated by my living situation, but then went out and went to shows, went to as many shows as I could. And then it came time to come back to my hallway. And I was standing there for a second. I was looking around. I was like, you know what? No. You got to draw the line somewhere. And so I went into the living room and I slept on the couch. You know, the couch is all right. And some time passed. You know, we all got along pretty well, except for one dude. There was one dude that kept eating my food and trying to blame a dog that did not exist in this apartment. I came back one day and like the bagel I had just left on the counter was gone. And so I was like, hey, does anybody know what's happening? This is crazy now. Like what's going on? He comes out of his room and he's like, oh, you know, that doggone dog came in here. I was trying to wrestle it from him, but I could still see like poppy seeds on his lips. It's like, did you wrestle it with your mouth? And then after like 3 weeks, they tried to hold an intervention with me. Yeah, with me. The person not pretending there's a dog in the apartment. And this is the thing, this is what bothers me. Okay, obviously it sucks that, you know, he stole some of my food and that he lied about it and everything. But then just to try to keep the lie up, he would make random dog noises in the apartment. Which only gives you more explaining to do. He'd be in the apartment, in the living room, I'd be in my hallway. I'd hear him. And then obviously I'd come into the living room to see what type of dog keeps eating my bagels. And it would just be him. Sitting there like, he just ran out. No, they sat me down to have an intervention with me, and they were like, you've been making everybody uncomfortable. Because you've been sleeping on the couch this entire time, and the couch is really more of a communal space. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize. Ooh, I see where you're coming from. Because you know what's also a communal space? The hallway I live in. Even being here for things like the snow, you know, like I'm from Louisiana, so snow is still majestic to me. Whenever it really snows heavy, I'm like, wow, look at it coming down all slow. I still do that thing where I try like trace snowflakes all the way down, make yourself real dizzy. No, snow is incredible. Except for here. Don't get me wrong, it can be beautiful. If it's gonna be like a real blanket of snow and it's gonna stick, then yes, everything's covered in white, it's gorgeous. If it's just kind of snowing, if it's just lightly snowing, if it's just sleeting a little bit, it's one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my entire life, because it hits the ground, it immediately disappears. It goes into some sort of camouflage mode that's just made for slipping. It'll cake up a little bit, but then it gets all black and gray and brown, and then it starts like getting holes in it. Looks like a monster that's coming to eat you. You gotta have your wits about you at all times. You walking in this slippery, sleety snow. Because if you fall, you have fallen into wet New York. Nothing will make you want to die faster than having wet New York on your back. And everybody know you got wet New York on your back, because even when you get up, look, I hope you can get up. I pray you can get up. Because once you fall, watching you get up would be like a deleted scene from Home Alone, because the ground doesn't make it easy and no one helps you. Nobody helps you. Everybody will go, ooh. Nobody gets close. Nobody throws a hand out because they don't want you to bring them down, because that's exactly what you'll do. I tried to help somebody once. It was tiny. This tiny man taking these itty bitty steps. You knew he didn't want to fall, because you knew he might as well have been 200 feet in the air the way he was looking at this. He was taking weird turns for no reason. He was like, avoid that, no. He was taking rights and lefts like he was driving. And then this man took one step. Just took this one step. And as soon as he put his foot down, he was like, oh. The amount of backwards he flew was unfair for how light the step was. I'm not a physicist, but I imagine that if you're gonna slip, like a Looney Tune, you should have been running. Like the fact that this man took such a small step and then he looked up in the clouds, facing the clouds, and then landed. And this man landed, and we didn't even go, ooh, we went, because we were sure he was gone. That fall was up there when like somebody in their 90s take a nap. Because the way he was rested, we were like, because you land on your back, you need to gather yourself. You can't just get up right away. You got to make sure your soul's still in your body. This man hit the ground, was just staring up at the sky. I was like pretty close to him. A couple other people were pretty close to him. And we were all looking over like, we thought, no one said anything, but I could tell for like 6 seconds, we all thought he passed with his eyes open. Because he was over here looking. Then after a little while, this man blinked. And we were like, oh, thank goodness. I don't think my day could have handled a body. And so then I go to help him up. I'm like, oh, sir, are you all right? Are you okay? And he didn't say anything, he just kept blinking. Then finally, he like saw my hand, and he stuck his hand up. And I don't even really feel like I had time. I didn't really have time to grab his hand. I feel like as soon as our fingertips touched, he was like, ha! You know how you gotta be careful when you trying to, when somebody's drowning and you're trying to save them, sometimes they could fight so hard that they drown you. You know, they over here pushing you down, trying to stay above the water and everything. As soon as I touched this man's hand, he pulled me down in a way that wasn't pragmatic at all. Like, I didn't have my bearings. I didn't have my knees bent, ready to lift him up or anything. He just pulled as hard as he could. And for as little as he was very strong. He was very strong, and admittedly, I'm pretty light. And so as soon as he pulled me, I could feel the whole thing happen. I could feel my hand. I was like, "Sir, are you all right?" And I stuck my hand out. And I swear it happened in slow motion. I swear. The way I tried to scream no before my face touched the ground. Face first. This man pulled me so hard, I hit the ground like I fell out of the sky. And now we both there, laying there, drowning. Everybody saw what happened to me. Everybody else backed up. Everybody was like, "Ooh, ooh, 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 ooh." And now I'm over here fighting to get up. I swear I know how to do push-ups. But there's something about how slippery the ground is in New York, where even when you think you're doing a perfect push-up, you end up just whoop, whoop, whoop. Finally, he and I, as a team, used each other to get up. It wasn't easy, and it took forever. I remember because we were both at least like, okay, if we get back to back, we should at least be able to sit up. I remember sitting on the ground and then turned to him like, "You ready?" We finally make it back to our feet. Nobody helped us. And we were covered in wet New York. That ruined my entire week. I think I got some of it in my mouth. It's one of the most disgusting experiences you can have. I remember I thought I was somewhat ready. When moving to New York, I thought, okay, they have a bus system. I'm living in Chicago. I'm used to a bus system, used to a train system, like I just got to figure out the schedule, got to figure out my routes and stuff. I should be okay. It was very different than if I had moved straight to New York from Louisiana. I had a little bit of an adjustment, so it wasn't as much of a culture shock. But I wasn't ready for some of the versions of the things here. I took the bus in Chicago, took the bus all the time, but Chicago's on like a grid system. You take this bus, it's gonna go that way. Forever. It'll go that way till you're not in Chicago anymore. You take the bus here. To be fair, it's different in the city. Sometimes in the city, it's pretty straightforward. It's just like here to over here, and it's gonna be miles long or whatever. But taking the bus in Brooklyn, that's the most like carpooling I've ever felt on public transportation. There was a couple buses I would take when I first moved here, when I was like getting my bearings and everything, and I got to know some of the people. On my bus routes, I got to know some of the bus drivers. I remember one who was training, and I could tell he was training because this wasn't the bus route. I try not to be that person. I really, genuinely, I try not to be a know-it-all because, look, I don't know everything, and there are plenty of times where I think I know something and then I end up looking stupid. but I do go home every day. One thing I do every day is go home. And so I'm used to the general look of on the way home. And this bus is on my way home, but this bus is not going towards my home at all. I'm seeing new restaurants. I'm seeing I'm looking out the window and something is wrong. None of the familiar checkpoints, none of them. Also, people keep pulling and he not stopping. We on the bus, everybody kidnapped. Everybody. I'm looking out the window, I'm not seeing anything I'm used to seeing. I'm like, either gentrification is moving at lightning speed, or we are not on the route home. And finally, somebody said something. Somebody said something. Somebody was like, because you never know, you want to be respectful, but you don't even know what to say. You don't even know what to go, Mr. Bus Driver? Mr. Bus Driver, I don't think we on the way home. Didn't respond right away. Kept trying. Mr. Bus, I don't think this is the right way. I take it every day, and I don't think we're going the right way, and we also haven't seen any of the stops. Because what I tell you, we are not seeing bus stops. We're not on a different route by accident. There's no way to get off. And then this man over here, huh? And I'll tell you one thing that genuinely makes me very angry. It actually really bothers me, is when somebody thinks that the only thing to do when they don't know what to do, the thing that shows strength, the manliest thing to do is just double down. That you could convince me against reality. Like, there's something manly about pretending not to be wrong even when you're wrong. You know? And I'm sitting here on the bus, and this man is over here, huh? You could hear from the panic in his voice, he knew. I don't think we're going the right way. No, we on the way. Well, just in case, maybe you'll let one of us put you back on the right way with some Google Maps. Imagine standing at the front of the bus. No, you're gonna want to take a left here. I love taking the bus though, because I do enjoy bus drama. You always catch people, because on the bus, nobody's on the bus for that long, so all the drama that you overhear or all the drama that you witness is like the middle of the story. It's always like a small little pocket. I was taking the same bus for months and got to know one of the bus drivers, and there was this one day I get on the bus. 2 stops later, this woman gets on the bus arm in arm with this man, walks right up to a bus driver, puts the Metro card in. This is back when they had Metro cards. Put the Metro card in, take it back, looks at him and goes, "Hello, Harold." I couldn't pull my AirPods out fast enough. Because Harold looking shook. This is origin story stuff. "Hello, Harold. How you doing?" "I'm good." Saying, "I want you to meet my new man." "His name's Ethan." And Ethan's standing there like he didn't know that this is why they took the bus. Like Ethan not trying to flex on Harold at all. He looked very confused. Like, and then she takes a little turn to start walking down towards the seats. It's like, right after she says, "This is my new man, Ethan," she's like, "We're headed back to his place." Look. Listen to me. I understand that, like, as men, we haven't been great, throughout history and stuff. But it is diabolical. It is clear and present evil to make your ex-boyfriend drive you to your new boyfriend's house. That's crazy. It all happened so fast. She got off the bus. "Hello, Harold. This is Ethan. We're going back to his place. He's an engineer." And poor Harold sitting there, closed the door. And you could tell he needed a second. He didn't hit the gas right away. Ethan walking back there with this girl, and he clearly feels some type of way. Harold couldn't just let that go unanswered. No, he's about to drive them for his job back to Ethan's place. And he'd know where it was because they hit they pulled. Harold's sitting there and he rubbed his forehead real quick, and then he turned. He was like, "I don't know what kind of engineer he is taking the bus." Ethan was standing there like, "What did I do? I didn't." when I moved to New York, there was a lot that I didn't know. Like, I didn't know, okay? I had no idea that when you went to the bodega, that there would be a cat. The first time I went to a bodega and I saw the cat, it was just me, I'm just being honest with you. I walked in, I was like, okay, unprofessional. Professional. We all got our pets. We all love our pets, but this is a place of business. People don't just bring their cat to the office. Had no idea that the bodega cat was there for a reason. I had no idea bodega cats were there for a reason until I walked into a bodega. That didn't have a cat. And I saw a rat. And I didn't just see a rat. I saw Mr. Rat. Because I walk down the aisle and I see this rat. And there was a time back in the day where there were only a few rats that were this brazen. They all used to be a little bit more skittish. Remember, pre-COVID, pre-COVID, you would see a rat, and that rat had the Christianity to run when it saw you see it. There used to be only a few brave rats, and now post-COVID, they're all pretty laid back. This was years ago when I moved here, but I saw this rat, and living in Chicago, even living in Louisiana, you expect when you see a mouse or a rat and you make your presence known, they're like, oh, gotta get out of here. No. I walked out, I see this rat sees me. This rat actually looked me up and down. And that's why I was like, oh, the cat. I see. I get it now. No, because you would see these bodega cats, not necessarily friendly, not always down for a little pet or anything. No. And they'll be perched up too. They always find somewhere that's comfortable for them. It doesn't matter where it is. It'll be on the snacks. It'll be on the saltines you need, but that's where they'll be perched up somewhere. They don't even meow right. First time I heard a bodega cat meow, it was over here. Had that little like quiet yawn. Went to open his mouth. I'm expecting to hear a little purr. Something sweet, you know? So, you know what I mean? Something subtle. Not at all. This bodega cat was over here. was like, this is an uncle. This is this is crazy. I saw this bodega cat out there, perched up. And I turned the corner, and I saw a mouse. And I was like, in the same place. The cat was here. Mouse was there. Cat wasn't moving. I was like, okay, unprofessional. All right, you supposed to be at work right now. This. Oh. Like, I get that they're there to serve a purpose, you know. The cat takes care of the rat. But then, different time, I was in bodega. We saw this cat perched up, getting real comfortable. Didn't see rat in sight. I was like, okay, he's been busy. Doing his job. I'm getting my bagel. And then I hear this cat. And then this cat coughed up a hairball. And I was standing there like, I think I prefer the rat. This is crazy. What happened just now? Was there a cat in him? You know, sometimes one thing is a means to an end, but it's not the best thing either. It could still be pretty bad. Like when Trump grabbed Maduro, right? In case you're not familiar with Maduro, leader of Venezuela, who Trump went ahead and grabbed and kidnapped and brought here. And look, Maduro's terrible. Like, Maduro is actually horrible. Like, two things can be true. I think that as Americans, like, living in the US, we want a story to be clear. We want a clear protagonist, antagonist. We want one good guy, one bad guy. We forget that sometimes you could have two villains. Because just because Maduro was bad doesn't mean you can't look at the way Trump would have grabbed him and go, ooh, not like that, That doesn't mean you want Maduro back in, but it's also, what is this? What have you done now? You know, Trump grabbed Maduro, and then he got that man in that federal detention center. He got him in the same federal detention center. This is the same federal detention center that they kept Diddy. And look, Diddy wasn't there because he's been sentenced and everything, but can you imagine? Can you imagine what that day would have been like for Maduro if he was? Like, imagine, you were the president, and then you just went to bed. Very stylish pajamas, by the way. You went to bed. Then you wake up, you getting grabbed. They bring you to Brooklyn. They bring you to Brooklyn, and imagine, I know it didn't happen this way, but pretend with me for a second. You get into this federal detention center and you see Diddy. Looking over like, oh no. You don't know him personally, but you've heard stories. And now you sitting there in like gin pop or whatever. Maybe you just trying to have lunch. And Diddy approach you. Diddy walks up to you, maybe stands over you, leans down and goes, I heard you got oil. And now you gotta disappoint them. Now you gotta get the message across. No, not that type of oil. And Diddy says some heinous Diddy type stuff. He says something like, well, slippery, slippery. They got Maduro in there. The same places that they kept Tekashi 6ix9ine. If you don't know who Tekashi 6ix9ine is, he's a rapper, allegedly. And he's known for his tattoos, more tattoos than body. Also known for his antics on the street, how he's always involved in some beef or some drama or something like that. He's also known for his colorful hair, these grills, just his whole aesthetic. It's very unique. It's one of the reasons he got so popular. There really is nobody doing things the way that he did them. It's why he was such a phenomenon. And you're Maduro. And you look over and you see Tekashi 6ix9ine. You turn to somebody, you ask, who is that? You're like, oh, well, that's Tekashi 6ix9ine. You're like, I feel like my English is pretty good. But I didn't understand anything you just said. You just said a word I've never heard with some numbers. Is he a robot? What happened to the other 68? No, this is the same place that they kept Ghislaine Maxwell, R. Kelly, El Chapo. This is like a real life Arkham Asylum. They got that man in there in the same place. They got Luigi Mangione. Whew. Wow. I don't know. You see things happen in prison all the time. You know, People talk about corruption. They talk about, it's a faulty facility. Conditions are bad and everything. And there's a lot of corruption in the prison system. As long as there's corruption, maybe just leave Luigi alone with a 3D printer. Let him go to work for a little while. Just see what happens. Well, just turn the cameras off, They did it for Epstein. But yeah, Trump went and grabbed Maduro. And if you don't know, because I don't expect everybody to know, I feel like we in the U.S. are not always up on current events in other places, their systems of government and their leaders and everything. But Maduro, terrible. I can't stress this enough. This dude was willing to let 80% of his nation fall into poverty. A country that was rich in natural resources, but he was willing through corruption to let inflation get out of control. He wanted to seize and consolidate all of his power. He did everything to quell protest, and he But yeah, that's the dude that got him. Went and grabbed Maduro. And when you ask questions about what's next, because this is the other thing. This is why it's a sort of fool's errand to defend every one of Donald Trump's actions, because you'll see these people, whether they're pundits, whether they're senators, whether they're whatever, sycophants, whatever, they come out and they give some almost noble or some at least logical reason for this crazy thing that has happened. They'll talk about what type of leader Maduro was, or how the people of Venezuela are living in this poverty. They'll give all these reasons why they went and grabbed him. But then Trump, unprovoked, will make a statement that undercuts everything that they said. They'll talk about bringing wealth back to the country, how this is the best possible thing for the United States and Venezuela, and that the president has the interests of the Venezuelan citizens and the U.S. citizens at heart completely. And then Trump will come out and be like, it was oil. I really just want that oil. Even now with Greenland. What is happening? No one knows what's happening. They're sending troops over there to Greenland. You have people in the EU being like, we're just gonna send some people over to Greenland just to make sure. Meanwhile, Trump's over here, I'll slap tariffs on anybody that disagrees with what I'm doing in Greenland, which is I don't know, the world? People in Greenland aren't happy. People in Greenland are protesting. You know how much you gotta mess up to be protested in a country that you're not even in? It's insane. And no one really knows what the plan is. And no one knows what his plan is. I actually think that he's talked about it a little bit too much, and he's a little too far gone to just do nothing. He set himself on a path, and because he's the type of person that has a saved face, that never wants to look weak, and for him, strength is doubling down. Strength is just repeating yourself over and over again, even if it's wrong. Strength is just never correcting course, like a bus driver that doesn't know the route that he's going. Oh, it's infuriating. It's infuriating because we're on the bus. Like we're on the bus. And we're looking out the window like, I don't recognize where any of this is going. This doesn't seem good at all. Greenland, the place with 60,000 people in it, we're really going after them. And he's saying, we need Greenland for national security. All right. What about the national security of Greenland? Do you know what I mean? It's something that he said his first term. His first term, he came out and he was like, I think we need Greenland. And we sort of let it go. We let it go because in his first term, he said a lot of things. You remember. It's almost too many to count. He came out in his first term and he was over here like, hey, look, hurricane come, drop a bomb in it. They don't know me, I'm DJT, all right? I'll drop a bomb in a hurricane, I don't care. Please, I wish a hurricane would. Please step to me, hurricane. Remember he had that chart. He had lots of charts, but there was one chart in particular he had of the path of a hurricane. And then he had drawn in marker the hurricane going somewhere else. And then everyone in the room was like, does he think he can control the hurricane with the marker? He's like, everyone said it was gonna go this way, it went this way. We were like, Mr. President, there are tens of thousands of residents that can attest that it did not go that way. Man was over here saying wild stuff. First term? Look, maybe we could address COVID by... clean it from the inside, you know what I mean? Like, let's try something. Stood in front of doctors and then was like, why don't we try cleaning it? See, y'all not even thinking like I'm thinking. Y'all not even on the level. Y'all over here, ooh, science, science, science. Y'all over here worried about microscopes. Let's look, let's really get to it. Let's really... Trust me. Trust me, look, take a couple sips. You'll probably be right as rain, probably, I don't know. I'm throwing out ideas, you know what I mean? I'm trying to think proactively. You know, you got them over here talking blah, 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 blah all day. I'm over here trying to help people. And then he caught it. I remember the day he caught it too. I was like, oh. He old. Isn't this bad? He caught it that he's old. What's gonna happen? I don't know if y'all remember that time, the way that it was unfolded, but when they announced it, I remember getting the notification on my phone, like Trump got COVID. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay, this is a time to listen to the science, Mr. President. I don't know if you're gonna live by your word, but the bleach right there. And then they pumped them full of whatever you need to survive it. They gave him that good stuff too, because remember he did a he did a walkout that night. Walked out, still on a balcony over here. ripped his mask off, defiant, was standing there. So much happened first term. He looked at the sun. This man caught COVID and looked at the sun in the same time period. And looked. He looked at the sun like somebody who was told not to look at the sun. Looked up, they were like, "Mr. President, don't look at the sun." They screamed it out loud. And he was like, tell him. No, so many wild things were said that first term. Nonstop. Felt like every day something was said. So yeah, of course, you miss "Let's Take Greenland." That's like 3 p.m. on a random Wednesday. That doesn't stick out to you at all. I'm an adult now, and I'm one of the first generations of adults that got participation trophies. Like when we were kids, we were that first generation of like give everybody a trophy, build their confidence. But we were also the first generation that got attacked for getting participation trophies. But I didn't give myself the trophy. Do you know what I mean? Like I didn't say I need a trophy. You wouldn't believe how disappointed I was when I found out there was a trophy store. I remember going there and just looking around. I was little, but I was like, wait a second. You can just get to say whatever you want. You don't even have to be good at, wow. You can just buy achievements. It doesn't seem right. You know? And I look at it this way. If you're a kid that was really good at something, and then at the end of the season or the end of the competition or something like that, everybody gets the same trophy. I could see that kid being upset because they're like, why did I work this hard to be so good and everybody gets the same thing that I get? I understand that argument, right? But I understand it coming from a kid. If you're the adult that's mad about it, but you don't even have like a kid that was competing, you just don't like the idea, you were never gonna get the trophy. That's weird to look at a kid you don't know and be like, they don't deserve it. Why do they get anything? It's like, oh no, that needs to be worked out in therapy. That's, oh jeez. Like when I was a little kid, I wanted to be an athlete. I wanted to be an incredible athlete, you know? Because all my heroes at the time were athletes. They were all people that could do what nobody else could do. They were people that had set themselves apart in their achievements, dedicating their lives to being so good at something that they did it better than it had ever been done before, maybe in a way that it could never be done again. Nobody could knock people out like Mike Tyson. Nobody could make a game-winning, buzzer-beating shot like Jordan. I wanted to be an athlete too. And so I started on my journey. Played that good old European football, played some soccer, right? And quickly realized that that sport wasn't for me. Because that sport is 90% running. As a child with asthma, it was ridiculous for me to be out there every Saturday morning fighting for my life. I was furious. At one point, I was talking to the coach. I was like, I gotta run back and forth every time, like the ball never gonna come back this way. And I was on this team. Now, the team that I was on they did this back in the day. This is huge in, 80s, 90s, 70s, stuff like that, but I don't know how much they do it now. Basically, if there's no team at like the elementary school or something like that, the community will band together and start like a little league, and they'll get different local businesses, like get like a laundromat to pay them some money for some uniforms, and then that's your name to advertise for them. Y'all become the Bubbles or whatever. And then you end up playing other local kids and everything. And so it's just very important that I point out that I didn't make a team. I was on a team somebody made. There's a huge difference. And I think about this one particular year, because there was this one year I was on the team, and there was a kid that was good and a kid that was great, right? And the kid that was good, he was good, he was all right. But what I really loved about being on the team with him was that his mom, whenever it was her turn, because every parent took a turn bringing the halftime and post-game snack. Whenever it was her turn, she would pick oranges from the orange tree that they had, slice them up, put them in a bag, bring them to us. They were some of the best oranges I had ever had. So I was always excited when it was her turn. And there was this one particular Saturday where it was not only her turn, but the same parent that brought the halftime and post-game snack led us in the pre-game prayer. This is deep South, so we're going to pray before everything, right? And so we're all in a circle with our heads bowed and everything. And it doesn't take me long to notice that his mom is actively praying against the other team. Like, we all standing there holding hands, heads bowed and everything, but then at one point she's like, and you're in control of all things, Lord, so if you want an ankle to roll, let it roll. I kept my head bowed, but at one point I was like, does anybody else hear this? I don't think that's how you're supposed to pray. And there was one time the adults were talking, so I just, kept to myself. I didn't say anything, but I overheard her being like, oh, I hope he sticks with it. I think he's good enough to get a full ride scholarship. And in my head, I was like, ooh, we're 8. He barely better than me, and I'm not good. You better start saving. Because it's very hard for an 8-year-old to show like any sort of like athletic prowess, especially in a game like soccer. Because the kids that score goals, all they really have is a basic sense of distance management. Like they know to kick the ball far enough that they haven't kicked it all the way away from them, but they're also not dribbling all slow. They keep it at a good distance. And then, especially if they're running, they're going towards a goalie who's also 8. They're going towards a goalie who's also 8 years old, and somehow, no matter how much practice he is involved in, is not prepared for this. And so then they kick the ball to the left, the goalie jumps to the right out of panic. And so he scored the goal. It's not impressive, but he scored. There was a kid on our team that was good, but then there was a kid on our team that was great. Truly great. Like I had never seen anything like it. This kid could pull the ball back, kick it up in the air, jump in the air, kick it in the goal at an angle, come up grass stained, goal! He was on our team, and sometimes I'd still be upset. One time he did that exact move, and I was like, y'all must be practicing him extra, because I didn't see any of those drills last week. And there was this one weekend we had a tournament. Now a tournament, okay, no matter how much money the parents were willing to try to raise or pay to keep their kids involved in this thing, nobody was willing to pay to bus us around the tri-state area every weekend. So every tournament had to be done in a day. And so if you won, you had to keep playing games until the end of the tournament. So if you won, you just kept playing in the hot Louisiana sun. Winning was a punishment. And there was this one Saturday, we got a kid that's good and a kid that's great, so we've been winning. This is our third game. And the kid who is great has scored 4 goals before the half. That's a lot. All by himself, 4-0. They haven't scored on us at all. And it's not because our defenders were good. Our defenders were trash. I was one of them. And this kid is scoring all the goals, but it's not because he's being a ball hawk. It's just anytime we get the ball, we pass it to him. I wasn't trying to be a hero, mainly because my coach said, don't try to be a hero. In fact, when the ball came to me, I was like, you know what to do with that? And so this kid is zooming down the pitch for his 5th goal. And the defenders on the other team are devastated. The goalie is embarrassed. And as he's coming towards him, one of the defenders sees him coming and just steps out of the way. Steps out of the way, and at the last second puts his foot in the way and pushes him down as hard as he can. And then the defender on the other team, that kid's dad, stands up and goes, let's go, Henry. Let's go, play hard. Which was a huge mistake, because now the dad on our team knows who to hit. So then he got up and started walking across the field through children like traffic. We still playing it. He over here locked in. And he walked up to this other dad. And, I can't hear what's being said because I'm a defender on the other side of the field, but I see them getting closer and closer. You can tell with the body language that they're both very tense. And then I hear some mumbling, then I hear some yelling, and then the dad from the other team hauls off and pushes our dad. Our dad falls back a little bit, shakes his head, and goes, bah! Right? Now, this is a team full of dirty players and dirty parents, because then parents from the other team tried to jump our dad. But then our dad was like, anybody can get it. Anybody, okay? He started kicking and punching and elbowing and kneeing and headbutting. A few people, I'm pretty sure, were trying to get out the way. And then Henry sees what's happening to his dad and the other parents on the field, and so he starts running down the field. Leave my dad alone! And he runs up behind our dad, climbs him like a little spider monkey, and wraps his arms around his neck. Now, our dad can't hit this kid because he's right behind him, but he can use him to hit everybody else. He started spinning around as hard as he could. Little Henry hanging on. Grown men were catching cleats in the face. And I was just standing there like, that's the most athletic man in the world. That's who I want to be when I grow up. And so I can understand that, you get to the end of a season, and then we all get a trophy. We got one kid on our team that's good, one kid on our team that's great, and then I was looking at my trophy like, all right, y'all could have at least made them different sizes, because I was really just present. I'm not gonna lie to you. You think about that now as an adult, and there are some parts of the concept of a participation trophy that are wild to me, if I'm being honest. Like, who would have thought that the Nobel Peace Prize would basically become this sort of participation trophy. You see this woman handing over her Peace Prize to Trump. Not that peace is a competition, but even if it was, he lost. Oh, it's so crazy. Why? I don't know why he cares about it so much. Obama did get it, didn't he? Obama did get it. That's true. Even holding it, it's like, you don't really believe that one's yours. There's no way. There's no way. I know his brain is soup, but there's no way that he actually believes it works like that. It doesn't even have your name on it. That's like letting your friend hold your diploma and then he thinks he's a lawyer all of a sudden. Like, that's crazy. Not a man of peace at all. You know? See what's going on in our own country. You're willing to go to war with your own people. You know? Threatening the Insurrection Act. Man. Sometimes irony's annoying. You literally led one. And then like, I can't stress this enough. Trump threatening the Insurrection Act for a protest in Minneapolis off of the actions of an ICE agent who also didn't need to be there, because remember, they're looking for Bond villain level daycare Somali swindlers who have somehow sucked up all the money in the world and brought it to Minneapolis. Like, this goose chase you already created is why this thing happened that the people are protesting about, that most of the people in the country literally agree with the protesters, and you're willing to send in the military for the insurrection that you invoking the Insurrection Act is like, it's like Diddy being like, pervert, like that.
Welcome to the Josh Johnson Show. I'm Josh Johnson, joined by my co-host, fellow stand-up comedian Logan Nielsen. Logan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right. It does seem like we are held captive right now in someone's grandma's house.
Yeah, if you see the video, yeah, it does. Yeah, specifically a grandma hostage taker is what we have.
Yeah, it looks like we're being kept well fed and entertained with stories. I can't tell if the stories of the torture or the reprieve from the torture, but we know a lot about harmonica playing from the 1920s. A lot about someone named Thurston.
Yep. What soda pop used to cost in the 60s. We know that now.
Also a lot of glass doors, so this is probably one of the most escapable prisons I've ever been in.
Yeah, that's true. This just slides right open. That's not.
Yeah.
No, this is it's strange because the camera's pretty far away if you're watching the video, and the futon we're on. The only way to really sit comfortably was for us to slump back like this.
This futon is so uncomfortable, you can tell no one's ever had sex on it.
Or too many people have had sex on it.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
I feel like this one is even the way I'm sitting right now, this is just regular sitting with regular legs.
Yeah.
That are just both the feet touching the ground and the ass touching the back of the futon.
Yeah.
And I'm so deeply uncomfortable right now that there's no way someone had pleasurable intercourse on this thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I keep like having no way of like feeling and looking comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, this is an Airbnb, so neither one of us will have to deal with this situation much longer. But
yeah, this is the second one. This is not the one I was in last week. This one is better. So I know we're not giving it a great review.
it already looks better.
It looks better.
They have a blender.
They do. They have a blender, but they don't have a coffee maker, which is an issue for me. But it's all right. I've been doing instant coffee, and I made it work. But
yeah,
I just feel like that's one of like the things to put. Like they have that in shitty hotels, have coffee makers.
which I don't get, because if you're in a really bad hotel, why would you want to be awake for it? I'm just saying, it's like
Fair.
It's weird that they give you coffee so you can stay awake and realize
Right.
what a terrible motel
Because
you're in.
if you go to sleep, then you realize how bad the bed is and that it needs to be cleaned.
Not if you're fully asleep.
Yeah.
If you're unconscious, you're like it's not until you wake up that you're like, oh wait, my life is not.
Do you remember we were on the road not too long ago and I just picked up the covers and you could see the light go through the covers and you could see how nasty like the inside of the quilt was?
Yeah, so okay, how's the best way to explain this?
So I feel weird being way closer than you, but I think I'm more comfortable sitting like this. Is that weirder?
It's only weirder because from here you look like you're doing a TikTok about me talking.
I think I'm out. Yeah, I'm reacting to you, and I set my shot out of focus because I'm out of focus. Just something like this. This is just not great when you're a big guy to be like, yeah, I want to just lean into the shot gut first is what I really want. And it doesn't help too that the lighting is making me look like, I don't know, the wall. Look at that. There's no change.
Yeah, you do look like Wall.
Hopefully I do some color correction on this. Anyway, sorry, not to be too visual, but that took some doing to set up, and we're both so warm.
So,
But yeah, sorry, the thing you were setting up.
Oh, I don't even remember what that is.
The blanket thing, whatever.
Oh no, just the blanket. So we were on the road, and Logan lifted up his sheet,
Just the quilt. Yeah, it was like the top quilt.
and wow, the light that went through it revealed what's the best way to describe it? The guts of the quilt.
Yeah, the innards.
Yeah.
The
So
meat.
all of the quilt intestines were fully loose.
Quilt testins. I know you hate when I try for a pun, but I felt like that's the closest I was gonna get. Quilt testins.
Yeah.
Sure. But yeah, because it was like the I guess like the feathers in it. I don't know if it was like a down blanket, but it had like the feathers in it. But you could see like where the stuffing, how little of it was left. Excuse me, how little of it was left, and how orange it was.
Oh yeah, it was like deep orange to where I thought it was.
And the blanket was not orange. The blanket was white.
I thought it was washed blood. It was so orange.
Yeah, it looked weird.
Yeah.
It was a strange.
And that's one of those things where anytime something is well lived in, it's not going to be great.
It's a nice way to put it. Well lived in.
It like anytime it's been used a lot, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be. I'm sure it used to be so thick you couldn't see through it with fluffy amounts of feather that felt like a cloud laying on your chest. And by the time we stayed there, years after this hotel had been opened,
Right.
it felt like instead of sleeping on a cloud, it felt like an angel fell out of heaven, but the actual impact of them hitting pavement is what the quilt felt like. It just felt like,
Right.
you know.
Lucifer's blanket.
I mean, it wasn't hot. It was just
Well, but I mean, when he
deeply
first
uncomfortable.
fell.
From
Is
okay,
what I was saying.
gotcha.
The OG fallen angel, the original.
Yeah, we also might be having heat stroke.
Oh, I am not doubting that at all.
You could probably tell, even listening to the recording, that we're both deeply uncomfortable, and that's probably I can't think of a thing that is more likely to be happening right now than me being a bit overheated, pretty tired, and maybe blurred vision.
Yeah. it's like I feel bad that this is what I've been talking about all week. Not necessarily on the podcast, but like just when I've done to people when I've done sets and stuff. But it's so fucking hot. And I mean, I know it's like not just in New York, the world, because the UK set their records. I can't remember if we talked about that last episode, but it's like this is a heat wave for the planet. And I'm staying in places that don't really have AC. This one does, but it's really just the window unit in the bedroom.
I wonder if it's a heat
chose
wave
wrong
for the places that are like known to be cold. So if there's people right now in places that are usually cold and they're like, I only had to wear one jacket. It is burning up out here.
I mean, that's kind of how it is. Like
in what, Alaska?
Sometimes, I mean, in the Midwest, hell, like Iowa, Minnesota, like. So
I guess I never count.
Not so much in the summer, but
yeah, I never really count the Midwest because in my mind, it's like meant to be hot sometimes there.
True.
I'm talking about places that are always cold.
Well, in the Midwest too is like a muggy hot too. We get humid too. So when it gets hot, like I'm sure. I mean, hell, Louisiana has to be the same. It probably gets muggy as hell down there, right?
The heat stroke in Louisiana is pretty funny. Because I mean, we could cut all that early stuff out and just get right to this in the episode. The heat stroke in Louisiana is very funny to watch because it's like some people there's no difference.
Why do some people write in and call me a monster and not you?
That's
what I don't understand. You just said watching heat stroke is funny, and people write in and be like, "Logan's a fucking monster." I'm like, I've never laughed at heat stroke.
I mean, you did when I said it.
Okay, well,
yeah, I'm just saying there are some.
But
people,
I'm a bystander. Still, I'm still a witness, not the doer of the crime.
There are some people that you could talk to where you're like, "Dang. You had a full stroke in front of me and I didn't notice." Like just the way that you talk and how you carry yourself is already a little slurred, you know?
I did your show on Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
And I know you were at a different show, and I walked up there. Our friend Rob was there. He said I got up on stage and turned around, and just in that time I was sweating. So first off, I just turned around and was sweat. And then at one point I tried to say I currently live in the Midwest, and what came out was I live Midwest.
Yeah.
Is all I said. I said, I live Midwest.
But you see, your heat stroke is noticeable because of how you talk normally. But when you get someone who's like...
like a Cajun accent?
yeah. When you get somebody with some drawl, that sounds like heat stroke.
No matter when.
That's how... Like if you get
it's
someone...
December and you're like, are you tired? Did you?
Yeah, if you get someone that's like, you don't even know what the boys over there was saying, man. You know, with them boys, you know over there with them boys.
Yeah.
You know, there with them boys, it's hot out here with the boys. Oh, you done been before with the boys.
The boys?
Yeah.
Yo, man, I got to rub out that boy.
I need some water and go to the bayou.
Oh, wow. No, wow.
And then before you know it, they're like slumped over and you're like, hey, is he okay? Like I've watched heat stroke happen in front of me to other people.
Yeah.
And not known the signs right away. Like I had to learn them when I was pretty young. And then
are you having heat stroke or are you just Southern?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%, man. Like I think that I think that sadly right now in this moment in life, I'm putting together how much a few accents and dialects out there sound like heat stroke.
Yeah. Name the other ones. Go ahead. Take our show there. Let's get a new fan base. Let's go and become edgelords.
No, I just mean like I think that there are people that I grew up around, especially people in like more of the rural area that had a lot of that French. Slang,
yeah.
Would have the drawl to pull off some really like slow talking that you can't quite understand.
Yeah.
So it's one thing when someone's speaking a different language and they're speaking so fast that even if I spoke that language, I'd need subtitles. Mm-hmm. But it's very different when someone's speaking slowly and you're still like, oh no,
I'm still lost.
I don't know what is being said at all.
Yeah,
especially when it's directions. I've been in the car with people where we get a little bit lost and maybe we're in Ball or something like that. Mm-hmm. And you know,
in Ball, is that a town?
Ball, Louisiana. Yeah.
Okay.
And so they're just parts of Louisiana where if you get lost and you
That's
ask
where you
someone
live
for directions, they will get you more lost because you don't understand them.
And they're probably using like local references. When you see the blank, then you.
Not only will they use local references, but they'll also be like, they'll tell you a colloquialism you've never heard before.
Oh, I love that. When you encounter that in the wild, a new phrase you've never heard.
Yeah. So you're like, oh, you take a stone's throw this far, and then you could just take a left, and then just spitting distance after that. And you're like, these are all.
You just give one.
These are all like bodily function things that I don't know how that means for a car.
You see this, then you just do a little turtle shuffle to the left.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
No, it's pretty bad. In lieu of us doing like Scare B&B last episode,
right?
I just remembered there were a couple of things that we had previously like not really touched on specifically when we did some of those old review episodes.
Oh, okay.
And there's just a couple of ones I remembered from some restaurants that like were spillover from. Remember that episode we did?
Yeah.
Okay. And it just made me laugh because we ordered Seamless before we started recording everything because neither one of us had eaten.
Yeah, we're like, let's get hot and full.
Yeah, hot and full is a great
That'll
recipe.
be good. That'll be good for the show. Let's get hot and full and let's really lean back.
Yeah.
Let's really get comfy, sit back with a full tum-tum.
It would be wild if there's just 30 minutes of this episode where neither one of us are saying anything because we've quickly fallen asleep.
Yeah, or we are having heat stroke and are only understanding each other.
Honestly, if I was having heat stroke right now, I wouldn't even be able to tell you. Like, does it come all at once or what's?
I've seen it happen playing football.
I mean, I've seen it happen to other people, but
it is weird because sometimes
what does it feel like.
Well, see, the weird one, I can't remember if I've talked about it on the show before. We'll get back to these restaurants, but I can't remember if we talked about it on the show. But when I saw my friend get heat stroke during a football practice, and he stuck with it for a while, and like he says he does not remember like the latter half of the practice really, or like once we got to like the real big conditioning stuff at the end. And he was going hard to the point to where we were doing like up downs, and he kept going, and they blew the whistle and we stopped, and he did like 3 more, and we were all like, "Hey, Tom, you can quit." And he's just like, ugh. And he was just like his body had taken over, but his mind was no longer there until we went to like have our final like breakdown meeting, and he runs up and just falls over. And then he tried to get his pads off, and no one noticed, but he got his pads off, and then they just got stuck. So he was just laying on the ground with his shoulder pads over his head. And I had to give I think I've definitely talked about this on the show, but then I had to give the on deck speech that night, which is especially like cycles through the seniors and juniors, and you give like a little like speech, like a fucking let's go get him or whatever. And I was slurring and my vision was blurred. So I think I was having heat stroke too. And I had a speech prepared, and it was all gone. I just went there. I'm like, look at this football, and the team because we're playing, and we need, and let's so let's go. And then I said like fuck a few times, and so I had to run a fence and back too while having heat stroke. Because if you swear, you got to run a fence and back.
Was your coach? I know we've also touched on this. We're gonna get to the restaurants.
Yeah, sorry,
but was your coach fit?
Yeah, they were all pretty fit, mostly.
Like, in my opinion, you can't coach football unless you're fit.
Unless you do
There's
it too.
nothing like
a
out of shape guy telling me to run.
Yeah, no,
that makes me angrier.
They were all pretty fit.
You do it with me then. You need it.
Yeah, you go.
I'm out of shape from just being young and not knowing how to be in shape.
Right.
You actually are teetering into some health problems.
They were all in pretty good shape. And that was my biggest thing too, is it wasn't until years later, actually until I started, because I teach with a lot of them now. Mm-hmm. When I sub at that school, so like most of my coaches are all still there, and I teach with them, and I kind of realize how not old they are, and so I realized that they were all like fucking 25 when I was in high school, which makes me angry now retroactively to be like, I cared so much what these fucking 25-year-olds thought, and now there's no person's opinion I value less than a 25-year-old.
Yeah. What is it like now that because the thing with decades is that teens to 20s feels like a huge gap.
Yes.
And 20s to 30s also feels like a big gap.
Absolutely.
But 30s to 40s and 40s to 50s feels like you're all just adults now.
Yeah.
So now that you're teaching with them, how do you perceive that relationship of like, does it feel like time has shrunk between the two of you?
Like, what do you mean time has shrunk between us?
So if someone's 15 and then someone's 25, I can see a 15-year-old very much trying to impress a 25-year-old.
They look way older than you and feel just way more worldly than you.
That's what I'm saying. But now, if you're 35 and they're 45, does it feel like there's almost no time between the two of you now?
Kind of, yeah. We all feel. I think it's also, too, because they all, at least, if they haven't seen me do stand-up, and some of them have, but a lot of them know of my career and, living in Chicago and stuff. So I think they also... Not that it's like necessarily a respect thing, but they are aware that like I'm doing shit they've never done. You know what I mean? So I think there's a little more of like they're actually interested in my life, and it's like, because when you're in high school and you are in a small town in Iowa, you're not that interesting to talk to. You haven't done anything,
Gotcha.
You're a kid in a small town in the middle of nowhere. So I mean, yeah, I feel much more. I think it's also too, not that I don't care what they think. I respect all of them, and I still think they're all good guys. I just have a way different relationship with them now, where it's like now I'm like, oh, I'm a guy they want to talk to now. It's not just me trying to impress them. I'm also like, oh, a guy they like knowing. Most of them. So
no, that makes sense. Because I'm just thinking about that. How if you knew someone when you were 18 and they were 28, that feels like worlds apart. But then if you're 48 and they're 58, it's like, all right, one of y'all get better prices at movie theaters. That's about it.
Right, yeah.
As far as like life differences.
No, for sure.
For
sure. And I guess it's more too. It's not even so much that like when I think back, I'm like, oh, why did I care what they thought? It's like, well, they were my coaches and my teachers. You want them to like you. But it's more, I'm like, oh, I wish I had my view of them that I have now, which I'm like, oh, they're just a guy. Like, yeah, I had to impress him and do stuff for him, but it's also like...
Yeah, I go back and forth on that because here's the thing. When you look at an accomplished person or a person in a position of authority or any of that stuff, when you look at all of them as just a dude, right?
Right.
That's more realistic and it's helpful for perspective, but what it robs you of a little bit is like... If something is special to you and you want that thing and then you want to do it better than the person that you look up to, they can't just be another guy, if that makes sense. They kind of have to have this little like air around them.
Well, and I have that. There were teachers who were older than them, those were like the teachers who were like whoa, those guys are so fucking smart. And like those are the ones I still look at as like the geniuses I knew. And these guys are all smart. It sounds like I'm really bashing the people who are my coaches, and I'm not. I respect all of them and I like them all a lot. But I think I was trying so hard to be like a kid they liked, especially because too, like my older brother was like, they fucking loved him. He was such an amazing student and a really great athlete and stuff too. And I was fine in both categories, So it's like, I'm like, I just want to be liked. And I was more doing that rather than like pursuing stuff because I wanted to be good at it, or, you know what I mean? That's what I mean by it.
Gotcha.
Where it's like, and then that's an ice cream truck going by again. That's 2 episodes in a row that we've had an ice cream truck going right by.
This neighborhood love ice cream.
This neighborhood does love ice cream.
This neighborhood, they got, it's sad.
I hear it everywhere I go in Brooklyn.
There's so much ice cream in Brooklyn. Nobody really can run for the ice cream truck. Like if you miss them, you're just gonna have to get them tomorrow.
I mean, it sounds like they go slow. So, because I hear them in just the one block for a long time.
Yeah, I remember one time the ice cream.
What did we just talk about for a long time? Was I rambling about my coaches?
Yeah.
God, I'm in my 30s. What is happening?
So one time, and we're gonna get to the restaurants, I promise. One time.
Oh, I hope we don't.
When I was in Louisiana, I was like a teenager, and this is when I would do cross country. My mom gave me a key, so when I got dropped off from school and from practice, I could just go in the house. Because it was when I was like old enough that she didn't need to take me to the library after school every day.
Yeah.
And so, sure enough, man, oof. I remember I got dropped off at home. I went inside, and was playing with Rocky or something. And then the ice cream truck for the neighborhood broke down in front of my house.
Oh, shit.
But they just never turned the music off. And so they just were camped out trying to get like someone to bring a tire out and everything.
Yeah.
And selling ice cream the whole time. So for them, it's just business. But for me, it's like 2.5 hours of the same ice cream truck music. And you know what's crazy? So I didn't have any noise canceling anything. And so all I could do was loud. Like I could just play music
All
loud
I
or
could
play
do was loud.
all I could do was loud to combat it. I couldn't noise cancel. I couldn't Bose it. I didn't have that type of money. And so I could just get loud so that I didn't have to hear it.
All I could do is loud. It pleased me. I live Midwest. All I could do was loud.
I'm just saying that loud does not, it still penetrated the volume,
Right.
which is crazy because I was blaring stuff. Because after the first 20 minutes, I'm like, man, I hope that, because they had clearly broken down. Like you saw the guy,
Right.
His wheel was in a weird position and he was like not quite out of the street.
I wonder if there's something like scientific to the music of those things. Like if they're at a perfect frequency that they can cut through anything.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it is, it should be illegal because it's so infuriating. I was getting so angry. And the first 20 minutes, I was tolerating it because I was like, that guy's probably having a hard day. Like, I was actually trying to be empathetic. Like,
Right.
that dude's probably having a hard day and everything. And then after, like, the first 40 minutes, I was like, he's at least got to turn the music off, right? Like, I can't be the only one. Like, I even looked out the window at my neighbor's house to see if anybody else was looking out the window to see if anybody else was, like, stressed about
Surely
this.
the neighborhood is infuriated right
Yeah, I was like, surely these people don't love ice cream so much that they need the music while they lick the cone.
it's not special. Then I can just go to a store.
I was
You
getting
know?
furious. And then after the first hour, I was like, I need to do something. And so I had little earbuds, but they were terrible. They were like the cheap earbuds.
Well, and even just because how old were you?
Like 13, 14.
Yeah, see, at that age too, like earbud technology was not great because even the early like good earbuds hurt your head.
Yeah, they really like stretched that. You
Yeah,
you be walking around with some loose ears.
yeah, they were
Yeah.
not built for ear shape
Yeah.
at all. They didn't realize it.
They were just
it was-
excited that music came through the wires that they were like, leave it.
Yeah, cram these circles into your ears.
And so that didn't work because even though I was listening to music so much it was hurting my ears, I could still hear the like, hello. And so then I was like doing a hum on top of the music. So that I did that. So I was just like, the entire time the music was playing. And it was still cutting through. This is like the telltale heart of ice cream.
Yeah, you truly lost your mind there.
And then I was like,
with earbuds and blaring music, screaming to yourself.
dude, it was like an hour though.
I know. The best would be then if the music stopped and then everyone outside is just hearing, and they're like, oh shit, turn it back on.
Nah. At an hour and a half, I take out the earbud because now my head just hurts. I have like a headache from how loud the music was.
Well, just humming
and then
too. That's gonna hurt.
I turn the TV on. I turn it on full volume. So like, you know those levels that's ridiculous to let a TV go to, like that, like those volumes that go to 80.
Yeah.
I'm at like 77, and I'm just blaring the, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. That Spider-Man just going, but then that's not even enough consistent audio to be cutting
They
out.
say that a hero can save.
We're not even there yet. We're not even to like the credits.
Oh, is
or
that just the
anything.
soundtrack? It's the movie, yeah.
This is the movie, and so even the slow parts.
Yeah, careful that you don't unplug that,
Oh
please.
yeah, no, it's just even the slow parts are just straight up blaring. Now the ice cream music seems louder because the movie is so loud. So I'm like, anytime I can hear it through I'm like, did he turn up the volume as well?
I just love too the ice cream music in the background and then Green Goblin laughing over it. Like, there fucking is again. There's the Y'all talking shit?
But look, wait. This thing. So you see how it started again?
It dips. Yeah, if you can't hear it, sorry, the music stopped for a second because we're hearing the truck go back again.
Yeah. Now, what they did in Louisiana in my neighborhood was they're like, and they do it again and again and again, and then it stopped, and then you would hear, hello.
That's what I was wondering, because you said that, and I understood that you meant like that's how it played in your thing, but that sounds genuinely alarming.
No, it's horrible. It's so bad, and so that's also happening.
That sounds like Pennywise
for 2.5 hours.
Hello, do.
I've never in my life wanted to brandish a gun.
Wow.
More than when I hit the 2-hour mark. Of that ice cream music, because I was just like, guys, this is now everyone in the neighborhood that's gonna buy ice cream has bought ice cream. You're not weighing anybody else down,
right?
You know, like you're not leaning on them hard enough for them to come out of their house and be like anything to make the music stop. Everybody that's bought ice cream is gonna buy ice cream.
Anything to make the music stop.
Just turn it off.
Wow.
Yeah.
How'd their business do though? Did a lot of people swarm the truck?
They got swarmed at first, but then this is my problem. Everyone that swarms you lives here. You were already driving around the neighborhood. You were going to get them anyway.
Oh, that meant there were some kids a few blocks away who were really excited for 2 hours for the truck to get to their house.
Yeah, I guess so.
They just stood there waiting.
I guess they just sat there like,
just outside.
Any minute now.
It's got to be coming.
Yeah, my mom doesn't like me walking to the edge of the street, so
I got to stay here and wait. It's so hot out here.
Yeah.
I got the money crumpled up in my hand, and I just want them to. Why won't it come?
Have you ever seen the fire hydrant get open? Like,
not get opened. I've seen it open, but yeah.
Oh no! I've watched it this year especially. They're popping hydrants hard.
Oh, I've been seeing a lot of them already going, but I haven't seen like the process.
Yeah. Oof. There was one guy who popped it open. It was about to close it, and a guy ran up and he was like, "Hey, just give me a minute." Good. And then took like a full shower with the hydrant. Like people had stopped playing in it. So the guy was about to close it, and he was like, "Hey, let me do my thing." And
just let me cool off a bit. There we go.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah, it has been a hot couple weeks out here. I'm sure it is just everywhere, but you get that. I don't know. That New York sweat's a different sweat. I will say that. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I spent this whole time thinking I left Louisiana.
Yeah. This thing.
It's like almost as bad.
Like I've been in like LA when it's hot, but it's that, I think it's just that desert hot. It's a little more dry. There's an ocean nearby. I mean, I guess there's an ocean nearby here too, but it hates us. I don't know. It must just be the tall ass buildings and all the concrete. It must just be that. It just it turns into one big hot rock.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't even imagine what I'll do if this continues.
I have like every time I get back from doing something, I get home and I have to peel off a wet shirt and then just, I don't know, just try anything.
It's like, because you can't move. You can't move from Earth. So
you can't move from Earth.
We're just here.
Yeah, I thought we had more time before the end was coming, but boy, she's barreling forward at us.
Oh my god! It's like
this can't be a good podcast to listen to, can it?
I mean, we've got out of the 30 minutes we've been recording, we have 20 minutes that are very entertaining.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
just checking.
Yeah, it won't be until you listen back that you know for sure, but the parts that you've laughed have been funny.
I know. I was just joking because it's just us constantly being like, "Oh, it's so hot."
Yeah, but it's also hot for them listening.
That's true. That's true.
If they listen to this in the winter of 2023, it's gonna look like a misstep. It's going to look like, wow, they really cared about what was going on in their life at that moment.
Yeah. Always check the date of the podcast episode you're listening to, just for some general context. You know what I mean? It's like when I was like finding new podcasts to listen to, and then that started a few years back, and then you catch up to like 2020, and it's always like the show changes completely. And everyone sounds a little more confused and sad. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's how we were all thinking then.
Yeah. It's so hot in here. I'm almost positive every one of these plants is fake.
That's a good point.
There's no way they're alive.
No, that one's definitely fake. Probably those ones too. That one, that one looks plastic.
Yeah, for those of y'all who can't see, which is everyone watching.
Because even if you're watching, they're off camera.
There are 5 plants in here, and I'm almost positive that 4 of them are fake. And the only reason that bothers me is that...
Well, also, I'm not watering them, so I hope they're fake. No one's sneaking in here to give them water.
I don't like the stolen valor of fake plants.
The stolen valor of fake plants.
Let me just explain. So
I'm very excited. We're going to get to the restaurant views in a second.
There are people out there that take care of plants in their home. They keep them alive.
Yep.
They keep the oxygen in the apartment fresher.
Sure.
All right. And they show responsibility for caring for a living thing. Then there are other people who are like, let me just take all of that and buy something plastic for $6.
Yeah.
And put it in the same place I would put the real plant.
I like to think of it as an action figure of a plant.
I think of it as plant taxidermy, and it's disgusting.
Plantsodermy. Come on, that one was right there. I knew you were going to hate that one too.
Honestly, if the seat on this futon wasn't backwards and I wasn't sunk at it, I would get up right now.
Say if I had any strength at all, I'd storm away.
Yeah.
Jess has been, I can't remember if we've talked about this, but Jess has been a little plant crazy these days.
Really?
We got a lot of plants in the fucking house now. And it's like, it's okay. I'm fine with it. But it's like, it seems like anytime we go anywhere. We were here in New York when she was here with me. And we walked by somewhere and she was like, ooh, I could get this. I'm like, no, you can't. That's not going to fit in your carry-on. What are you doing? You're not going to buy plants here. She's like, well, they might ship it. I'm like, or we'll just find it where we live. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, New York doesn't have any special plants.
And exactly. And the time we've shipped plants, they get all fucked up. So she's done it before. They show up not happy because it turns out plants don't love living in a box for a couple days.
So when I was taking the bus, this is like maybe 2 years ago because this was so close. I was taking the bus to do a show 3 years ago, I guess, because it would have been 2019.
Yeah.
Taking the bus to do a quick spot in Connecticut.
Okay.
And I was like, I was on the bus, and the whole time I was on the bus, I was like, I should have just taken the train. I feel that way every time I take a bus. I'm like, sometimes the train is not quicker. A lot of people think that the train's going to be quicker because it's like a straight shot and there shouldn't be any traffic or anything. Mm-hmm. But sometimes there is. Sometimes something happens with a train that's an hour ahead of you.
And it's the only one path it can really take.
It's the one path you can take, so then it does delay you by 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Like, it's a misconception that the train is just always on time. They love to be on time, but they're not always.
Right.
Anyway, I'm on this bus, and there's this grown man handling a bag with a bag in it of fish, right? Of like live fish. So he's like clearly gone to a pet store and bought some fish.
Right.
And I don't know where exactly he's going, but he's in New York getting on the Connecticut directed bus. So he's at least going to be riding for a while.
God, I hope this doesn't have the same ending as the bag of soda, man.
No.
That'd be a bummer.
No. But
then the guy with an umbrella gets on the bus.
No, but it's just funny to me because he had all these fish, different fish, by the way, that were going to be, I was assuming, in the same aquarium. and he was like an aisle over from me, and so I was just like casually looking in the bag as he was handling it, because he kept adjusting them. Like he kept like putting one that was at the bottom up at the top and like taking them out and putting them back in and stuff like that. And I was
taking
so there were like a bag of goldfish,
right?
A bag of the little bitty, whatever you call them. They got a little color to them, and they're like faster than goldfish, but they're much smaller.
Okay.
Let me see. I mean, I know you don't care about the actual type, but like it was like, imagine a goldfish,
right?
And then these little things that are just like, they usually have whole schools of them in some aquariums,
right? Yeah, couldn't tell you what they're called, but
and then what I think was an algae eater, because it was like a little long and had the like
flat mouth,
not just the flat mouth, the color,
a fish with no chin.
Yeah, fish with no chin. Glass jawfish.
Just that flat neck.
the pattern on it was like an algae eater. And so he kept just taking the bags out and putting them on top of each other. And I was like,
like that was going to do anything?
I don't know. I don't know if he was trying to keep them warm or cold. Like it was just him moving them around a lot.
I don't want any of them to feel superior to the others.
Yeah, I want them all to know that at any point in their life, I could change how they live. You ever buy fish just to play God?
I have a feeling that's what some people do, actually.
Yeah.
Same with plants. You just want to feel powerful.
Yeah, you want to watch something die in your apartment that you're allowed to kill.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not as grim as, other pets.
You just walk by the plant like your days are numbered.
What's the thing? It's like, I remember one time Jess was getting angry that one of her plants like kept doing bad, like, and she was doing everything right for it, and she's like, "This plant's gonna fucking die. I'm so disappointed." I say, "Don't they tell you to talk positively to the plant?" And
Yeah.
she's like, "If it would get its fucking shit together." I'm like, "No, but maybe that's what's killing it."
Yeah.
If they keep saying you should be positive to your plants, and you're meanwhile you're pouring water into it, just live, you piece of shit.
Yeah, you're really being like a step parent to this plant.
Exactly. Yeah, the plant knows you don't love it.
Yeah. You're just
You're just doing your job.
You're just trying to get with its mom,
Yeah, I sat down with our cactus and I said, "You can call me Dad.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to replace your dad. Your dad cactus. Your dad-tus."
Yeah. Those are one of my favorites. Now that I'm like getting a bit older, I have friends who are dating people with kids for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
And one of my favorites is...
You ever date anybody that had a kid?
Nah.
Okay, me neither.
Nah, but I've been told, this was not like, I wasn't privy to this conversation when it was happening, but I've been told one of our friends, not you and I say me and the person that told me the story, tried to bribe the kid and just tell him to tell his mom that they went to Disney World and had a great time, and gave him $150.
Wow.
But in my head, I was like, you almost at Disney money.
Yeah.
That means you really just don't want to spend the time with them, because you almost had enough money for both of y'all to go.
You didn't want to get to know the kid.
Yeah. It's like, listen, you can go over the story with me and everything. I got 150 for you.
Yeah.
Just, tell her we had a great time. Tell her we hung out, whatever.
What happened? Did the kid keep up his end of the deal, or?
It seems like it.
Because if not, it'd be great too if the kid just took the money and then was like, "Guess what he just fucking did? Wants me to lie about going to Disneyland."
Yeah. It would be funnier if he took the money and was like, he hit me. He struck me.
Well, then she's like, "Well, so where's the money he gave you?" He's like, "Oh shoot, I must have lost it.
He must have hit me so hard that it flew out of my pockets."
Anyway, don't worry about all these Hot Wheels.
Yeah. Because it's also very hard to spend money as a little kid.
Especially that amount of money. You have nothing really. Once you buy a few toys, then I'm just like, okay, now I've got more money.
Imagine if you come home with like a full arms full box of Snickers and then just try to act normal.
I found it.
Yeah, I found this box. Fell off a truck, Mom.
Can we keep it? Yeah, it fell off a truck.
Fell off a Snickers truck, and they wouldn't want them all road rashed and everything.
This is gonna go to the discount store. I want these Snickers to have a good life.
Can I tell you when I was little and we used to go to the dollar store and stuff like that? Every once in a while they'd have like a brand name candy there.
Yeah.
For like way too cheap, and so other kids were getting excited in the aisle to check out, and I was always like, "What did y'all do to it?" Because it's only when I go to other stores, it's only 20 cents more.
They're all pre-melted.
Yeah. I was like, what's wrong with this?
Or it'd be great if it was just like a mislabeling, though. Oh, awesome. A Snorkers.
It's like, oh, man. Mom, can you give me that Twiddlers?
I can't wait to eat this Malky Wax.
Yeah. Wow. This chocolate is so spicy. This Herschel's bar does not taste good.
Give me a handful of Scuttles.
Yeah. Scuttles would probably be fire, though.
Scuttles, I bet. Yeah.
Scuttles sounds like the people who lost the lawsuit to Skittles that actually came up with Skittles.
Yeah.
Like someone tried a Scuttle and they were like, I'll just take this home in my mouth without chewing. And then they just spit it out at home and try to figure out the recipe from there.
Right, yeah. A Scuttle is made with real fruit.
Yeah.
It's actual fruit flavor.
Yeah, but that's too expensive. So they went with what? Titanium dioxide.
Some red 47 or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
So the restaurant reviews.
Oh, okay. So there's just this restaurant review that made me laugh because it was to like southern seafood place, and they were complaining about the wait, which is a valid complaint. Like they were like, wait time was extra long.
Damn, this is how fucking hot and melty my brain is right now. I'm like, what? Like the fish was too light? I literally was like, they were complaining about the weight. Like catfish supposed to be heavier or something. That's how fucking...
Maybe you do have heat stroke.
I think so.
Maybe that should be the title of this episode.
I think the name of this episode... I already thought. The name of this episode probably should be Josh and Logan Get Heat Stroke.
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm good. You're the one that's all...
Nah, you said some shit earlier.
What did I say earlier?
I don't know.
What did I say earlier that I didn't mean? I stand by everything that I've said.
I've meant everything I've said, but you've also left out some words.
I don't know if I believe you.
All I could do was loud.
Yeah, but I would say that even if it was freezing cold in here. All I could do was loud.
Okay.
Yeah. You acted like you've never made fun of how I've said things before, and I'm only talking like this now.
I know.
If I didn't have my history, then yes, I'd be like, you should call an ambulance. But because I talk the way that I talk, this is par for the course. So, yeah, they were complaining. Oh, God. Do you need me to slap the back?
No.
Oh.
I choked on water now. That I think definitely was more like the angle I'm sitting at. This is not a comfortable angle to drink.
Yeah, we should do a supercut of everything in here that's unusable.
I think that'll be the episode, bud.
No, we should do, because I think that honestly we've got some great stuff, and then we have stuff where I'm like, are you like just now where I'm like, it looks bad on camera because I don't look concerned enough. I can.
Oh, you're just trying to protect you.
I'm not talking. I'm telling you to put it out. I'm not trying to protect me at all. I'm just saying in the camera, I'm sure I don't look concerned enough because I wasn't sure what was happening. I didn't realize you were choking. I just thought
I wasn't choking. It just went down, the wrong tube or whatever. Just kind of.
People say that, but are there really multiple tubes in your throat?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. You always went down the wrong hole.
It's whatever it is that people say when that happens. I think I swallowed like a weird air bubble because again, I'm like, I rarely drink reclined. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like if you were like one of those people that needed the home health care and they sat you like this, it would be to kill you.
Yeah.
It'd be you taking a sip of water and just like, ugh.
Because even right there, I just took a sip and I realized how much like air is in your mouth when you're trying to like get a drink like this. Anyway, the catfish was too heavy.
I mean, it's barely worth doing.
No,
anymore.
come on, we're here.
So the catfish was like, the catfish was fine. The wait time to get in was very long, and then the wait time once they sat down was just as long. So they were like, well, why aren't we still like? What's the point of even waiting inside if the wait time's going to be as long as we were waiting to get in the restaurant, right?
Right.
And then the food came. The catfish was good, but every other side was insane. Was like their mac and cheese was like clearly some of the macaroni had been cooked all the way, so it was crunchy as hell. And it just made me laugh.
That's cruncheroni. Just you're good.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It's a new cool thing we're doing.
And this person said in the review that they chipped a tooth on the mac and cheese.
Oh, damn!
Like they broke a crowd in the. Because the mac and cheese was like they it's not like they ate the whole thing. Once they realized that it wasn't like a freak thing,
right.
They were like, "Oh, I'm done with it." But then they took. Obviously, you take a spoonful. You're very hungry. You've been waiting for an hour and a half or more, and so as soon as you get your food comes, you start digging in.
Yeah,
and they bit into this like very undercooked mac and cheese. And just
that's great.
Lost a little bit of a dental work with it.
We thought you ordered it rare.
Yeah, we thought you really wanted a challenge in your mac and cheese.
Yeah.
We weren't sure if you were one of these absolute wimps.
Yeah,
who likes it cooked all the way.
Yeah, are you
through.
on a raw diet? We thought you were on a raw diet, and that's this. We just give it to you. We just straight from the box.
Yeah, that's why it is piping hot cheese. With not even cooked macaroni.
Oh man,
yeah.
Did you have another one, or was that the whole?
No. I mean, that was it.
Good. Okay.
Yeah,
I liked it. Then I think we, as much as we didn't get to the review, it took up the perfect amount of time. I think because now we can open the.
And you talking about how we both have heat stroke?
I didn't say I didn't have it worse.
All right. It just seems like between the two of us, if one of us needed attention, it should be you first.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. Don't help him.
No, I'm just saying, if we Uber to the hospital right now, I'd be like, hey, my friend is not doing well. And the simple fact I was able to explain that to you means I'm fine.
I am not disagreeing with you. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying we both need an IV, I think.
What have I done?
I like that you're
fit as a fiddle.
I like that we spent most of this both
so healthy,
complaining about how hot and uncomfortable we are, and now you're pretending like everything's great for you.
I'm not saying everything is great. Almost everything is great.
All right. Well, let's open up the MUBA. Let's see here. I've got a couple picked out. This is from Buko. Who is it? Buko or Buko? Because spelt. I'm wondering if am I supposed to put more stank?
I think it's Buko.
Okay, I just can't tell if it's like because like it looks like the word book. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like Buko is different than Buko. You know what I mean? I'm just wondering.
No, I'm with you. I just think you said it right the second time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
that's why I just wanted your opinion.
What I like about this already is that we've pronounced their name several different ways, and then
we had to have got it right
at some point, and now the way they open up is funny because it's lots of iterations of our name.
That is true. I didn't even see that. Yeah, this one is titled Advice, and it says, Hey, Jogan, Lashi, J-Lo, Squeaks in Toontown. This is Buko. I wanted to suggest that y'all start an advice segment on the podcast. I think you did really well when giving advice during the mailbag last week and think that should be a regular thing you do. That was, I think, off of the relationship advice we had gotten into. Also, Josh, get Logan's face tattooed on you, or y'all can get matching / complimentary tattoos. Like Logan gets a little man holding specs, and Josh has a little man that's squinting and tripping. I just got my first tattoos less than a week ago, and they aren't that sore. The last part just seemed like a brag.
Yeah, that does seem like I just don't feel pain like some of y'all.
Yeah, I'm doing great, but
Yeah.
you two are scared of needles. Also, if we're asking for advice, I don't really know how to flirt sober, and I want the lady that did my tattoo to be my girlfriend. She's very pretty and really interesting. Kind of older than me, but I don't really be dating people my age, which I think is okay because I'm an adultish woman. I'm 21, so you don't think I'm a minor. That is probably good clarification to put in there. Because if you were like, I'm 15, I'd be like, oh, don't worry, you're gonna strike out with everyone for the next 10 years.
You should leave her alone.
How do I start talking to her? Because I have her number. Thanks for the podcast. I love it. And you guys, my mom loves it when you aren't swearing. Sorry, that's mostly at me. My friends love it because we have the same sense of humor. And I've put a few ex-boyfriends on game. Thanks for being the sun in my stormy weather. Kind regards, Buko. P.S. Sorry this email is so long. Not that long. I think you did great. I think you nailed it with the email length. So if I could tackle the question first real quick.
Okay.
To me, it really depends on one caveat. It depends. Do you have their number because they gave it to you? Or do you have it because they do your tattoos? Because if it's just because like they're the person you hit up for like, oh, here's what I'm thinking of getting, lining up the appointment time. Because I know people who have that. They just have like their tattooist number. So if you have it strictly from that business transaction, you may want to leave this person alone unless you have a personal relationship with them. If they gave you your number because you guys like hit it off and then exchange numbers to like talk, then that just changes it. Then you are open to a conversation, I think. But I think otherwise it's a little bit of like, trying to hit on a waitress because they're being nice to you. And it's like, but that's part of their job,
Yeah, I slightly disagree because I think that if you have their number in a professional setting,
Right.
but then you strike up a conversation that's light, so not even directly getting to.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying
thing.
it's undoable. I'm saying it just changes how you do it.
I think that if you can bring up light conversation that's not tattoo related while having their number, no matter which way you got it, then there might be the possibility for a coffee or a lunch or a chat.
Right.
I think that it's kind of like when you're in school and especially when you go to a small school or when you're in a camp or something and they just give everyone's numbers to everybody. That's not the same as having the person's number.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like if you go to camp with someone and you're all camp counselors and so you have all the other camp counselors' numbers, that's not you having her number.
Yeah.
Because she won't know that you're calling because it's you when you call. But if in any form you were given the number specifically and then you use that number to have a light chat that's not in any way romantic or about meeting up, just like, hey, I thought this thing was funny, something like that. I think if that is reciprocated, then now you can see an open door potentially,
Right.
for a meetup that is lunch. I think any approach that takes it slow is kind of fair and leads to no one being uncomfortable. And then also, if you're talking about how to approach people, hit on people sober, I would say that, especially since this is your tattoo artist. So this is her tattoo artist?
I believe so.
Okay. So this being her tattoo artist, you just roll up and you're like, hey, baby girl, you already been sticking it in me.
Jesus Christ.
What? This entire time.
Don't say that. Don't say that to them.
It's nothing you haven't seen. All right. We would just be doing what you do, but a little slower.
You've already been in me and causing me pain. We basically married.
Yeah. Let's do this together.
Yeah.
So read to me again the part hitting on people sober. What else was that?
All right. So I don't really know how to flirt sober, and I want the lady that did my tattoo to be my girlfriend.
Okay.
She's very pretty and really interesting, a little bit older. How do I start talking to her because I have her number? And again, I think if she gave you the number because you guys were like chatting and exchange numbers for even whether dating and or just a friendship, then I think you're open to just, friendly conversation.
So my thing as well, when it comes to approaching people sober, I think that people who need to do it slightly tipsy or with like a little bit of that liquid courage are forgetting and overthinking that these are just people moving through the world like you. So I understand the intimidation because I've had to approach anyone that I've ever approached sober. You know, I've had to ask anyone out that I've ever asked out sober. So I get that there's a little bit of a fear of rejection, and then there's a fear of embarrassment. But on the other side of that thing, even if it were to happen, is just you knowing where you stand now, which is better than wondering and hoping and overthinking and everything.
Yeah.
I think that you also can point to any person, and if you ask them the amount of times in life that they've been horribly, humiliatingly rejected, they're always lower than you would think. So we spend our entire lives trying to avoid any of them happening. But then when you really look at someone just taking you to task for asking them out, I'm not saying that never happens. I'm just saying those things are so rare. Like any decent person that you would want to be with could treat you in a way that, oh, okay, maybe they're not into it, but at least I know now.
Yeah.
The fear that we have about approaching people or flirting or like our intentions being misrepresented always through our imagination take such a worse turn than they usually do in real life.
Well, I think it's because too the hardest part about approaching sober, and I think this is why a lot of people like to do it with liquid courage, because it does literally give you that like confidence, because one of the hardest things is being confident in yourself, and that's what it always takes, is like, what is the part of you you're most confident in, the most part of your sense of humor that you're like, I think I'm actually funny in this way, or blah blah. It takes a long time, any of us, even us as comedians, takes a long time before you feel like really comfortable just being yourself in the world. And that's why I think a lot of people like having that liquid courage, because it kills some of those. Not so much that it gives you courage, it just stops some of your, I don't know, practical thoughts of maybe about being too much. You know what I mean? I think is more what it is. So it's like, and I know especially like 21, like not saying you don't know who you are, but that's a tough age too, to sometimes, because you're still just kind of acclimating yourself to like out on my own adult life. You know what I mean? So it's like whatever parts about your personality that you're just like, and you might initially be like, I don't like my personality. That's fine. Get past that thought. What are the things about you think are the most appealing? Do you, like for me, it was always like, you know what? I do know I'm funny. I know not everyone finds me funny, but I do know I am funny, and I can lead with that and be confident in my sense of humor. Not trying to be jokey all the time, but being confident in my sense of humor and be like, well, if they don't like it, then they're not going to like me. And while that might hurt sometimes, that was always enough for me to be like, oh, well, then I won't pursue this person anymore because they don't really get what I'm talking about. Doesn't mean they're dumb or anything. Just means like this will be a hard relationship if I'm constantly making these jokes and they don't like them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like it's that high risk, high reward kind of situation.
Yeah. So I would even say that sometimes when I've just seen from the outside looking in that sometimes even when people try to flirt while they're not sober, they're not really flirting the way they think they're flirting as well. So it's not like you can ever, it's best to take these things head on emotionally, because it's not like you can cheat the system in a sense. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I've known guys who had just trouble around women. And so then they like get a little tipsy because they were nervous about asking someone out.
Right.
And then they ask them out way too close to their face. And now you have a different issue. So it's like being comfortable with yourself and settling into yourself that's great advice, because I think that that's the best way that in any situation you start to know and feel worthy of someone else's time and attention.
Yeah.
Which is the main point of being confident in approaching a person.
Yeah. And if you shoot your shot and it doesn't really work out, they do your tattoos, so now you can just easily sidestep this into a business transaction. Be like, oh, hey, I was thinking about getting this. You know what I mean? If it's like, oh, they didn't really take the bait or whatever, I'm gonna, all right, let me not take the bait. That's the wrong wording, but you know what I mean? Like, oh, they don't seem to be going for this. Like, oh, hey, I'm thinking about maybe getting another one. Blah, blah, blah. What do you think about this? Is this something you could do? And then the conversation can go back to tattoos, and then then you save a little ego there.
Also, all of life is like practice for other points in life, and so just facing that sort of quote unquote fear, but like facing that aspect of fear and asking that person out is better practice even for the next time you might have to do it, or and the also, next time you might have to do it.
And also, if she's an attractive tattoo artist, she has been hit on probably so many times in way worse ways. So whatever you do probably won't be the worst.
I can see that. Yeah.
There's definitely, probably hardcore like bros who've really tried to be like, yeah, and hey, since you're down there, that kind of shit. It'll be those kind of assholes. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. I just think that practice thing is huge, because I think that eventually you get to a point where you feel comfortable, even if it's just through repetition of like shooting your shot.
Yeah. So we hope that helped, and hope it all made sense.
Wouldn't it be wild if they wrote in the next week like, hey, you guys probably shouldn't give advice anymore. Like, that probably shouldn't be an aspect of the show.
Hey, we weren't asking for it, so it's all good. This next one here, this is from Calliope, and can I be honest with you, even non-heat stroke brain, I know what that word is. I know what the word Calliope is. It always reads wrong in my brain the first time. It always registers as Calliope the first time, and I go, that's not a word, and like I have to do that every time I read that. That's just a little fun fact about me. But anyway, this one is called Thank You. Hi, Toontown and Squeaks. First off, hi, my name is Calliope, and my pronouns are he, they. These past couple years, I've been struggling with coming to terms with my gender and sexuality, and my family being very openly against the LGBTQ plus community hasn't helped any, for obvious reasons. I found comfort in comedians, and Josh became one of my favorites very quickly, and I started showing his videos to all of my friends. When I found out about this podcast a few months ago, I can say without a doubt that I felt much better. High school has been tough, and I'm moving to a whole new state soon, but you guys have helped me deal with it all. Anyways, thank you both for helping me through this weird time in my life. When I listen, I don't worry about any of my issues, and I think that's neat. That's all. Thank you both. From Calliope. Oh, also, 10 million jangles out of 3. I know it's not the most jangles we've gotten, but I think
by ratio.
I think by ratio it is.
It might be, yeah.
10 million out of 3, I think, is way more than the other larger groups of jangles we have received, I think, actually. I think ratio-wise, you're winning in that one, Calliope.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that. Sorry, things have been tough, and I know I've moved to new places, especially when I was even when I was younger than high school. And it is there's nerves to that, but like the one good thing is like, yeah, but you get to be a fresh person to all of them. It's like you get to truly make a first impression, and especially being in high school, you're old enough to kind of know what that's going to be. Because I did it when I was in like 3rd grade, and that's like, well, look back now, I'm like, maybe I was too much, I was in 3rd grade. I wasn't really thinking about it.
Yeah, I feel like as well, moving to a new place and everything that you're going through. I mean, I'm really glad that the podcast and comedy are an outlet. Like, I know that they're always an outlet for me when I'm feeling any particular way. I think that comedy is such a great, like, it's not even just laugh as a distraction. It's like laugh as a means to break down an idea. And so, I really hope that the podcast continues to be that for you, and that things get better quicker, because they get better, period. But sometimes while you're waiting for them to get better, it can feel longer than the process is. Like, I think back to high school, and high school to college was such a great transition for me, where all the qualities that I felt like made me self-conscious in high school, all of a sudden were all the things that propelled me in my like college years.
Yeah.
And so I think finding out more about yourself, and knowing the people around you and how they fit into how you see your future are all very powerful tools in the journey to self-actualization, because there are some people that, you know, they're not going to fit in to what you see for yourself the way that you think. And so keeping those things flexible is always good. You know, there are people who I think if I had held on to, even from early on, if I had held on to them, I might not be like a confident person, or I might be like you have to both be accepting of people the way you want them to accept you, but also accept the reality of what that person is like. So always offering up the means for them to make changes, but also not expecting them to wake up one day and just get everything the way that you would like for them to get it, you know?
Right.
Because I think that leads to a lot of disappointment in relationships, both like romantic and family, where you're like, why don't they just get it? And it's like, there's no telling why they're going to behave the way they're going to behave. They have a whole set of human baggage that they carry.
Yeah.
But I think that all you can do is learn more about yourself every day and find positive outlets. And I'm glad that we can be one of those things.
Yeah. Yeah. And also in return, thank you for sending in that message, because the people that send those messages saying like, this show helps them, makes them feel better. It's that cyclical thing, wasn't it? It makes us feel better about doing it and knowing that like while we're fine if it is just us sitting on a couch talking, it's nice that people get something out of it. So it's this fun thing where we all boost each other by being a part of it. You know what I mean?
Grandma's couch talking that we're clearly being held captive at. That
we're making the best of our hostage situation.
Yeah.
Let's read one more. This one says, this is from Sierra, and I'm reading this one mainly because it's July 28th in Philly, which this episode will come out July 28th, and we will be in Philly.
Okay, wow.
And so, hello, Concussed King and Wedding Wanderer. I like both of those. Those are pretty good.
Yeah. The Wedding Wanderer sounds like a Game of Thrones thing.
A little bit. I've emailed before, was there during a live show where we talked about school lunches, and you got to see Josh in New York City earlier this year. Oh, and they got to see. That's a picture of y'all, it looks like.
Oh, sweet.
There we go. But yes, I do remember the one we talked about school lunches on the virtual live show. But my birthday is July 28th, which would be today. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And imagine my surprise when I heard that both of you are performing in Philly that night. I bought the tickets immediately after they were announced for the front row. And because it's my birthday, my friends and my boyfriend are being forced to come. So I hope they have a good time.
Yeah. It would be wild to see like two people having a good time and then three other people like
just I hope to have a chance to talk to you both after the show, especially because last time I was really anxious to talk to Josh, like he was going to ignore me or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, I'll be more prepared. My question is, has Josh gone roller skating before? And if he has, is he any good? I've recently bought my own just as a hobby, and I'm okay, but when I go, there's always this old black man and his friends who synchronize skate, which I find a little cheesy and cute. Please take no offense, but I feel like that's Josh's future. Can't wait to see your show. P.S. I've shaved my head since then, and I'll be overdressed because it's my birthday, and I'm not letting the fact that it's a Thursday night hold me back. Also, I'm unfortunately the pale one. Oh, in the photo. Okay, I know you're gonna do it your birthday. Please do not show up very drunk. If you reserved your front row ticks, please don't make us have to handle you.
I have been roller skating before.
How'd it go?
I roller skated, then I roller bladed, and I've been several times, and none of them have gone particularly great. I'm definitely one of the, like wallflowers at a dance. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely one of the
rink flowers,
the rink grabbers. You know, the people who hold on.
A real rail grabber.
Yeah, because then
sounds like an insult.
The rink that we had near me, the closest one when I was younger, had a rink that had the sort of, was the actual partition called? Like the rink is the actual partition between standing and the.
Right. The little half wall, whatever.
So the half wall stopped at the wall. So then it was almost like a big oval with a little bit of wall where there was no half wall. So it was essentially you would grab the half wall the entire way. And then
but then the railing would like stop. Like
the railing would stop once it got to the wall.
Gotcha.
And so at least some of the rink was flat where you really had to just skate.
Just you
and that's
clawing at a wall.
And that's always where I fell. I would just slide down the wall whenever I got to that part.
Yeah, I roller skated a little bit as a kid, but I was never a confident skater. My brother was like a roller blader, and that I never could really. I was never confident enough to stand on those, and then I haven't tried in a long time, especially stuff like that. Ever since I got my really bad head injury, slipping is not a thing I'm fond of. So, crack my skull once, shame on you. Floor, crack it twice, shame on me. Didn't really crack my skull, but
yeah.
Let's end the show.
Thanks so much for listening to the Josh Johnson Show. We had a great time recording. I hope you had a great time listening. If you are looking to
have a great time recording.
No, this was fun. You didn't have fun?
I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
Talking about us being hot.
Oh, yeah. Some of that's going to go. It has to. What's going to be really funny is us kind of talking about like pretty much trashing ourselves for going on and on about it. Yeah. But then we have enough time recorded that you're going to cut some of it. So then someone's going to be like, what are they talking about?
I might leave all of it. Who knows? They like when we're real.
They won't like this level of real. There's literally just a thing of you choking. That's too real.
I know, but that's such a great escalation of where we were at. You know what I mean? So it's hard to wrap up the outro.
You should just keep the choking and cut everything related to heat would be very funny. Because there's just me. I didn't look concerned enough on camera. So can you choke again so I could fade a little bit of like, oh no, my friend. Oh no, what is happening to him in his esophagus?
You very quietly said, do you need me to pat your back?
Yeah, because I didn't know if you were laughing or if because my head was down when you took the sip.
Right.
I didn't even know you had water in your mouth. Oh. And so I just see you like hunched over like, oh. So then I'm like, do you need me to pat your back? But then you were like, no.
That was good.
So then how do I help you? Do you want the Heimlich from the water?
Because I wasn't choking. I was just, I forgot how to swallow liquids for a second. Yeah. That's all.
And then there's nothing.
I remembered.
But I should still have looked more concerned because I really kept the same face the entire time.
And I'm not cutting it because you didn't look concerned. If anything, I'm going to punch in only on your face to show how much my friend didn't care.
It's not that I didn't care. I was just confused. Imagine if you were in an office building right now.
Go and finish the fucking show.
No, just hear me out. Imagine if you were in an office building right now and I fell off of the roof, but then you just see me whiz by like, yeah. And like, you'd be confused.
Was that a bird?
No, that was me as I screamed past the window.
That's me in the office.
Oh, yeah. Is that a bird?
Yeah.
And then it's me. And so you look confused. But if we punch it on your face, you're like, he doesn't even care that Josh fell off a whole building. That's all I'm saying. If you were looking to catch up with us on any of the socials, you can find me at Josh Johnson Comedy on Instagram, Josh J Comedy on Facebook, at Josh Johnson on Twitter, and Josh Johnson Comedy on TikTok and YouTube. We're going to be posting clips of the show. And if you're looking for Logan,
you can follow me on Instagram at Logan M. Nielsen. And if you want to get into the mailbag like all those wonderful people there, that's joshjohnsonshow@gmail.com. Send us compliments, questions, whatever you want. We love getting them. You can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/Josh Johnson Show. We have bonus podcasts. We have bonus videos. We have access to past live shows at a certain level. And then this will be coming out the day after our Brooklyn live show. So I'm just going to say, if you were there, thanks. Mm-hmm. Thanks for coming out. We hope it was good. I'm going to go ahead and assume it was.
Okay.
Wasn't it great? I love making memories with all of you. Not gonna compliment our fan base for being there and supporting us.
Well, you're saying you hope it's going to be great. I just know it's going to be great, so I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I better leave that level of hype in your pocket. Yeah, don't know.
I mean, I just know it'll be good, so I don't need to. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like if I made you a pie and I was like, "Hope you enjoy it. It's not poison."
Right.
You'd be like, why would you even say?
But I just don't want to. I don't want to be preemptively cocky about a thing from the past. You know what I mean?
No, but be cocky, because then the thing from the past will be a good present,
Okay.
and then in the future you'll be like, "I'm glad I."
All right, fine. Let me take a retake of that. For everyone, our live show would have been last night. If you were there, you're fucking welcome. You're welcome for what we did for you. Wasn't it amazing? God, we should have charged more. There, is that better? Is that more what you were looking for?
A little bit.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
You gonna go stand in front of the fridge?
No, I think I'm just gonna have to lay outside.
That's not gonna be better.
Yeah, finish.